Hey guys, it's Tyler Grace with Roxy Music. I've been playing guitar for over 12 years and I have a bachelor's degree in guitar performance. Today we're going to use triads to create cool chord progressions and create cool solo lines. So you may be wondering, what are triads? Triads are just simply a 3-note chord. And typically they start with a root, third, and fifth. So it starts on the root of C, going up a major third to E, and then going up a perfect fifth from C to G. That's how a major triad works. You could do a minor triad with a minor third, so it'd be C to E flat to G. And that's the only difference between major and minor chords, triads. It all relates to the third. So naturally, since triads are 3 notes, that means 3 strings can play a triad. So 1, 2, 3. But there's 4 groupings of 3 strings on a guitar. So you got your E, B, and G strings. Then you got your B, G, and D strings. You got your G, D, and A strings. And then your D, A, and E strings. Each one of these groupings has 3 sets of triads. So basically, all you have to do is learn 12 chords to get every triad on the neck, and I'll show you what I mean. So the first 3 sets happen on the E, B, and G strings, and that the first triad for C is going to start on the 3rd fret, the 5th fret, and the 5th fret. There's technically one on the open position here with the 0, 1, and 0. So that's your first triad. Then your second triad is the 3rd, 5th, and 5th. And then your third triad starts on 8, 8, and 9. And that's all the C major triads on these strings that you can play. So it's 0, 1, 0. 3, 5, 5, 8, 8, 9. And then you can go up to octave and do the first one again. So it'd be 12, 13, 12. It's the same one as this one. It's just played up an octave higher. This also works on the B, G, and D strings. So the first one for C starts on 1, 0, and 2. Then you're going to go to 5, 5, 5. So 5, 5, 5. And then you're going to do 8, 9, 10. We'll link the rest of the triads in the description below, where you can get diagrams on how to play them and what you can do with them. What's awesome about this technique, as I said earlier, there's only 3 per chord, and these shapes translate. So this is kind of, if you take up your first triad up an octave to 12, 13, 12, that looks like a standard D chord. It's because it is, because if you take it back down to 2, 3, 2, that's your normal D chord. The thing about this shape, it can move around to any chord. So basically, your root note in this chord is your B string, so there's a D right there. So if you come up to a step to E right here on 3, that means you're going to get an E chord. You can do this with any spot on the neck with this shape. So up here, this is an A note on 10 of the B string. So we got an A triad right here. This works with all the shapes. On this one, your root note is on the G string, so it's going to be the 5 of the G string, that's our C. If we take it down a half step, that's our B, so that's a B chord because this is a B note. And the rest of the notes make the chord, but that's how you can tell. The last one, it's going to be E because we haven't used that one yet. So it's going to be E. On the 8th fret on the E string is C. So if we take it up to the 12th fret, that's an E chord because the E note is on the 12th. That's the function of triads. You can use these in worship, funk, so many different genres to create cool chord textures. And we'll link it below again so you can see what chords you can play and where to play them. And you just got to practice moving the shapes around. These are also super useful in soloing, and we'll put a link below. So standard soloing for a lot of beginners usually starts on like a pentatonic scale where you play. You're just playing up and down that scale, and that's a great place to start. But if you want to put more texture in your lines, one thing you can do is just incorporate chords. So we have our standard C chord here. Can we make a really cool C major line from that? And here is one that steps into the scale, but focuses on the triads. And that's really where the magic happens, when you know where your scale notes are and how to use them in triads. So we're going to start with the C triad here. That focused on the C triads all the way up to the A section. We haven't gone over them, but that is another C triad. We use this one in the shape, and we use this one in the shape. You can also argue we use this one in the shape, but it's really just a part of this one. If you guys have any questions about this technique, feel free to reach out. We'd be happy to help.